afternoon. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm your host. I'm a fellow of Royal Institute of Canada and a CIPS partner, a global partner from Toronto, Canada. So I welcome you all for joining our 26th consecutive monthly connectivity meeting, in which we have shared our knowledge and experience with all of you. And I'm going to do a small presentation. After that, each one of you will be introducing any activity, any project, any interest, any cooperation. So let me begin this presentation for now. I'm going to share my screen. If you have any question, you can call me afterward. It's okay. So, if you are a member of our CIPS Global Partner, please make sure you can join our Global Real Estate Profession, a private network on Facebook. This is strictly for CIPS. And I'm glad to say that we are consecutively 26 meeting on this. So the goal of Realty Coffee Talk is to create connectivity, and that's what we have done, to increase awareness for building consumer confidence in real estate and promote good ethics and business practices. So I'm going to make it short here. The Global Real Estate Profession Network is a powerful global connectivity network to get to know each other, build long-term relationship, and facilitate business collaboration among its members. My goal is to ignite the spirit of connectivity, cooperation within our Global Real Estate Profession Network. We have a more confidence because we are all CIPS and we are in respective jurisdiction. We are professionally governed by the highest professional standard and practice as CIPS designee of THUR. This is a geographic location where I represent the client if you make any referral to me. I'm sharing with you, Toronto Regional Real Estate Board is the biggest board. It has 70,000 members in Toronto. It's a Greater Toronto. So March report shows that we are still minus 37.6% sale as compared to 22 to 23. And our new listing are still minus 44.3% from 2022 to 2023. And obviously, our sale average price compared to 2023 in March is minus 14.6%. So we are progressing, but we're still there, minus. Listing on the market, average listing on the market is 137.5 more taking to sell a property. Same thing, property on the market, 145.5 is taking longer to sell the property. So this gives you a little bit view of detached home for March, sale average price and major category. So you can see that detached home are 1.7 million in Toronto itself, or 905 in the surrounding city like Mississauga, Brampton, or Ottawa and other cities. So semi-detached are, so there is about $300,000 difference in detached home with 416 versus 905. Similarly, semi-detached is the same thing, is 1.262 million in 416 and 988,000. So that's almost close to 300,000 difference in semi-detached home. Townhome, you're looking at about 50,000 difference in 416 and 905 area. Average price, you can see there. I will be sharing this slide as a part of my video, and then you can ask any question and you will have access to this data. Condo apartment, also, you can see that 732,944 in Toronto, which is 416, and 645. So that's also, again, 50, almost 85,000 difference. Now, here's a strange part, that year over year change. Sale is minus 37.8% in detached home, minus 43.2% in semi-detached. Townhome minus 36.1% and minus 32.5% in condo. So this is a minus sale. And similarly, you can see the difference between 416 and 905. This is the average price. So I'm going to go to total is minus 13.5%. And this is for detached home, semi-detached is minus 17.4%, and townhome minus 14%, and average minus 13 for the condo apartment. So this will give you a little bit more of average year-over-year summary of change. So I put it here so we know, go by month to month in 2022. So you can see that in January, we were in transaction minus 44.6%. Average price was minus 16.4%. In February, we were minus 47%. This is all home included. And price was minus 17.9%. In March, you can see that we are minus 36.5 in sale transaction. So it appears that sale is improving after February. February was the lowest one. So in also average price has improved and was as a minus 14.6%. So it appears that this thing's going to pick up because Bank of Canada did not increase the policy rate. So that will have a positive impact on the transaction. So this is a Canadian Real Estate Association projection. So 23 is a little bit lower than 2022, but in 24 they are projecting higher sale, and this is historic forecast 10-year average. So this is now I'm going to show you here, and this is a Canada-wide Canadian real estate market projection forecasting. So it has improved now. If you look at the Canada, we are showing 23 minus 1.1% across Canada. This is regarding sale activity forecast. And in 24, they are talking about 13.9% increase in sales. And I am in Ontario, so you can see that in 2023, they are saying Ontario will have a positive sale, 2.3% from 2022. And they're projecting 19.4% more sale in 24. So this is a forecasting from Canadian Real Estate Association. Other provinces are available. If you are working with any realtor or CIPS partners, other provinces, please feel free to give me a call. I can connect you to a CIPS partner in other areas. Now, this is the average price forecast from Canadian Real Estate Association. So they are projecting Canada-wide minus 4.8% annual in 2023, and they're projecting 24, 4.7% increase. So it's going into a positive category in 2024. I am the opinion that looks good, but I disagree in terms of Ontario. My point of view is that we're going to have 2.3 to 3% increase in 2023 as compared to 2022, where we have 8.6%. With all the reduction in sale, all the increase of interest rate, we still ended up an 8.3% increase in Ontario. So they are projecting minus 9.0 reduction in average price in 23, and they're showing positive, negative also, positive at 3.6% in Ontario. So other figures are available. If anybody needs this chart, I can send you a PDF copy. Okay, now I'm going to talk about this. The Canada's largest real estate conference and trade show, TRREB, Realtor Quest, is on May 17 and 18 at Toronto Congress Center, 650 Dixon Road, Toronto, and this is the postal code. If you want to participate in trade show, events, contact, registration, that is the information where you log in and you can register if there is still opportunity for you. We're going to talk about, I mentioned about prohibition on purchase of residential by non-Canadian Act. This is a law that prohibited anyone buying the property in Canada for 2 years, starting from January 1st. So there was a lot of lobbying done by Canadian Real Estate Association and other group. So now they have made some amendment to the law, and that's what we're going to talk about that now. Number one, the work permit. If you are a work permit holder and you're a non-Canadian, you can purchase a home now. That's a change from the previous one. So before, they did not allow anyone to buy a home because we have a shortage of housing in Canada. So now if you are a Canadian, non-Canadian and working in Canada, you can buy a house. But there is a condition. You must be 183 days or more in Canada. But non-Canadian must be 183 days or more living in Canada to purchase a home. This is the condition for the residents who need to prove they are Canadian residents. Now, land development. Now, the land zone for residential and mixed use, including residential development, are allowed by non-Canadians. So now you can buy, or your client can buy the property and do the residential development. This is allowed now. The other thing is that a private corporation, before the threshold for corporation foreign control increased from 10% to 3%. Before the foreign control corporation can only buy up to 3%. Now they are increased to 10%. So that's a big development. Now, effective date of this is on March 27th. So it's already had happened now. So if you have a client who is interested to buy a property and he's a non-resident, and if he's on a work permit here, I can help you to buy the property. There is a penalty of $10,000 if a realtor is involved and he does not follow the guidelines allowed by the violation of this law. So there is a $10,000 penalty for someone who's not following the law. So if you are a first-time buyer, these are the tips that I have introduced in the past. And if I think Brett is the new person. Now, Brett, if you want to set up a meeting with me, I can have a one-to-one conversation with you, and I can share this slide for you. In order for you to participate, you need to prepare a checklist for the buyers, share listing data sheet, prepare an estimate of closing costs, consent to advertise is required. I have few requests came in that I will be sending out paper. They want to list the property in our MLS system because I'm allowed to do that. So, but I haven't had a chance to finish the paperwork, so I will do that. So anytime we advertise the property, we require a consent, and then also we sign referral agreement and we agree on the fees. So because my jurisdiction is Ontario, I can make I can promote your product, your listing on MLS system, but I cannot sell them. I have to send it to you because you have the jurisdiction in your area. So I do due diligence to make sure that the person that I'm referring is a CIPS partner and they're licensed, and then you take care of the buyer who wants to buy the property. And similarly, and this is very important for everyone to understand, that I cannot go out and buy property out of my jurisdiction. Therefore, I depend with you and I make a referral to you. So Brett, if you wanted to see this slide, I can share with you later on. And these are also few checklists that I created for tips for the buyers. So when you make a referral to me and you select me, for example, I'm in Toronto GTA area, I search the property and make an offer on behalf of a client. And obviously, we already signed the referral agreement once we enter into this arrangement. So then we create a satisfied mortgage and approval inspection condition. we send APS and relevant documents to lawyer for completion of transaction, because all transactions are done in Ontario by the lawyer. And lender, if your client needs a mortgage, and I can help you because I'm a licensed principal broker of Canada Express Mortgage, and I have a license to practice, so I can help. And the money goes to the lawyer in trust. And then lawyer will do the deed transfer, and there will be a basic charge and on the property. And then obviously security title to avoid mortgage fraud. Now all lawyers are securing a title insurance to avoid fraud. And here's a few things that I talk about. I'm going to move it this way. That obviously, when you're dealing with a buyer, regardless whether anywhere you are, you need to create an estimated cost for the buyer. And non-residents and foreign buyer pay speculation tax 25% here. Now residential, they have relaxed some restriction. Ontario government charge 25% speculation tax. All money, when you sell your property or non-resident sell a property, the government of Canada hold money through their lawyer, and until a clearance certificate is issued by CRA. CRA is just IRS you have in the United States. So that is paid. Once the taxes are paid, a certificate is issued, and then the balance is given to the seller. So you always have a consultation with a chartered accountant because of tax implication. You want to get advice. We have a huge network of professionals that we can recommend. And similarly, we make a list of lots of barristers and solicitors because you need a lawyer for the buyer to buy property in Canada. Foreign buyers can buy property and secure mortgage financing. And because those non-residents are now allowed, therefore they can buy it as long as they have a working permit in Canada. And there are commercial property, there's no restriction on the commercial side. This is strictly residential. And also multiple listing, which multiple residential, for example, 15, 20 units, there is no restriction. This is on the individual residential unit up to 6 units. There are restrictions. Now, buying real estate is not related to immigration. It's a separate process. So if anyone thinking that I'm going to buy a property in Canada and become an immigrant, no, that's not the case. They have to treat it separately. So I think this is the same case. So this is my information. You know me, I'm a CIPS, FRI, CRES, SRES, SR, ABR, and we are a member of all Global Real Estate Professional Network. So our next conference will be 27th on Global Connectivity Conference on May 25th, May at 1 p.m. Thank you very much for watching. So I'm going to stop the sharing. And now I will start with, anyone have any questions? We're going to start with it from Rory because he's our senior partner. So Rory, please go ahead and share anything you want to do.
Okay. I don't have a slide presentation to share, but for those who are new, I saw a few people I don't know on. It's good to see Brad. I know him from many channels. I'm in the Northeast Florida area. It's called the Jacksonville Metro, covers 6 different counties. Jacksonville, a quick fact is that it's the largest landmass city in the United States, actually. About a population of about 1.5 million. We have coastal properties, we have riverfront properties, we have rural, we have suburban, urban, we have a thriving downtown. It's a very large area. I've been a realtor for about 18 years. I've been a CIPS for about 16 years. And I do both residential, commercial, about 2/3 residential, 1/3 commercial. I've had some development projects in the past that I've talked about on Tahir's group here, but currently don't have any development projects or commercial properties for sale. The market is similar. I track most of the markets in the United States, and we're in the same situation as many of you, still running a little bit low inventory, but that's changing as the interest rates have gone up in the US. The only other thing I could tell you about the Jacksonville metro area of particular note is we're very investor heavy and first time homebuyer heavy because relative to the Southeast United States, Jacksonville is still a very affordable area. What you could buy in Jacksonville for the same money may cost you twice that much in other parts of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, etc. So happy to help anybody. I will put my information in the chat box. So thank you, Tahir.
Thank you. Thank you, Rory. We got a couple of questions here. I'm going to share with you before I ask. And okay, plan to go to Quest. So that's a Brett. And Brett is coming and plan to be Toronto. So Robin Fall is coming. Is that request? Is that for request? Yes. This is a request. This is a request. I think she's replied. I'm going to request. Trisha is also coming. So welcome. And please, I'm going to post my number here for all of you. Please come and be 416-451-3489. That's my number. You reach out to me, please. And anytime you need any help, I'd be more than happy to assist you. Now, there was one question here, consent to advertise. In Canada, especially in Ontario, the privacy law prohibit all of us to advertise a property unless a consent is given. And consent, when they sign a listing agreement, then you have that consent in the agreement, listing agreement, okay? But when the property has been sold, there are different consent stages where during the listing period until the property is closed, you may not require consent of the buyer. But this all depends on the what type of advertisement, what is being advertised. There are specific instruction from Real Estate Council of Ontario, the regulator. So this is very, very important that you have to look at them. I get everybody, all party, listing broker. If I'm a listing broker, I get the buyer broker, cooperating broker, buyer and seller both sign the consent, and then I advertise. Even after that, and I specified a period of time. I have seen many people have sold property 10 years ago, and the property has been sold 3 times already, and the still guy is advertising. And that's not a very moral or ethical thing to do. So this is why it's very important that we should not be doing it. And I don't know what the protocol is. Maybe Rory will come back and tell us a little bit later. So I'm going to, so this is very important that when you are listing, for example, Windy Cohen has sent me some information. I will be signing a cooperative brokerage agreement where I will be listing her property in our MLS system through TRREB because they have 70,000 members. And so before I do that, I was kind of busy because of some personal reason. Now I'm going to send her and sign that, and I will be sharing that information with other people as well. So yes, if the brokerage have obtained the consent of the buyer to allow advertise internationally, then you have no problem. So you can do that, and we can sign a broker-to-broker cooperation agreement because I have to disclose who I am cooperating with because I cannot sell that property. Only thing I'm doing is marketing through our system, and whatever compensation you give me, I share portion of 50% of that with the realtor if he comes back to me and make a recommendation. So I'm going to start now. Andrea, could you please speak? If you can turn off the fan in the back, it will make it easy for you.
Hello, my name is Andrea Capers. I'm a CIPS from Charleston, South Carolina. I became a CIPS last year. I worked as a realtor for the past 17 and a half years.
Congratulations. And have you joined our Global Real Estate Profession Network that we have?
No.
Please join a Global Real Estate Profession Network on Facebook. It's a private group. So you're welcome. We have a very, very senior Rory and many other professionals, and you will learn a lot by sharing your knowledge and experience with us. I'm going to say, Robin, your turn.
There we go. Hello, everyone. So I'm Robin Fall. I am located in the greater Gainesville, Ocala area. And so that's in North Central Florida. CIPS, SRS, RSPS. I'm one of those folks that's going to be coming to Toronto. I'm very excited. It's my first time. So I'm looking forward to that. We have here in Gainesville, the greater Gainesville area, we've got the university, like lots of places have great universities. We have the University of Florida. We've got hospitals, lots of great hospitals, and we've got an increasing tech industry. We've got lots of new tech companies that are opening here. So we're getting folks that are coming in for that. I would say one of our best offerings is a location. We're like halfway between East Coast and like the Northeast Jacksonville area. You know, we're not as expensive. Homes aren't as expensive as they are down in the southern part, and you can get some space. Looking forward to meeting everybody that's going to Toronto. I'm extremely excited about that. So thank you, and hope everyone have a great day.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Looking forward to see you in Toronto. Okay. You got my number. I just posted that. Give me a call. Tricia.
Hi, good morning. I'm Tricia Lehan from the Greater Metro Phoenix area. I've had my CIPS for probably 8 to 10 years. I'm currently the state president of RRC for Arizona, and looking forward to seeing everybody in DC that's going to be there next week. Roy, I'm sure I'll see you. And I'm going to Realtor Quest. I arrive on the Monday before Realtor Quest. So I look forward to seeing everybody at probably the CREA reception on the Wednesday night, and brainstorming and making it a win-win collaboration for all. Thank you.
Tahir, we can't hear you.
Yeah, Tahir, you're on mute.
Yeah, the CREA has a couple of more sessions. I think they're doing a CIPS training also. They have a couple of 5 days of schedule, but whereas the TRREB Quest is only 17 and 18. So I provided that link in my slide. You can just visit there and you can register yourself. Please leave your email information in there if you need that slide that I presented to you. We have 2 groups. We have a Facebook group, Global Real Estate Profession Network is a private for CIPS only. And also we have a Realty Coffee Talk on WhatsApp group where you can directly communicate with each other. And once we have set up direct communication, we can definitely connect with you, one-to-one. And Brett, your turn. Welcome to our.
Thank you. I have to undo the unmute. I'll be so glad when we quit doing that, but now we're so productive with Zoom, it really helps.
Yes.
So I'm in Naples, Florida. I was president of our local board back in 2009, served on many committees. I've been a realtor since 1984, and I got my CIPS in 2008. I am now a CIPS instructor, have been for about the last 10 years. I teach the course in Costa Rica, Las Vegas, all over Florida. I've gone to New York. I actually was at TRREB and did some work with Toronto when they first got their global business started. So I've been very integral part with NAR and getting things moving forward with global business. I came from a family of developers. We built about 900 homes in the Bonita, Estero, Naples area. Got into general real estate in the early 90s. And have been director of sales for a number of communities and stuff. I've spent my summers knowing all of the developments that are down here, and I've played almost every course down here except for Calusa Pines and Naples National. We have 134 courses in our market, so it is one of the golf per capita areas of the world. Those are just some real highlights there. Have all my designations, certifications, just about anything that has to do with residential I have. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Brett. We welcome you. I think you have wealth of knowledge and you can help us educate our team. And collectively, we have 1,000 years of experience with all the members. We have almost 341 members in our global real estate professional network. The reason we created this because we are really starting to do business with each other rather than just having a designation. So we have very connected professional CIPS global partners, and we are really moving toward doing business. And I'm glad that you join us. And please do join our Global Real Estate Professional Network on Facebook. It's a private network for CIPS only. So welcome. Gina.
Aloha, everyone. Gina Duncan from Hawaii here. I've been in real estate over 20 years, proud CIPS. Just thought I'd share a little bit about our market over here. It's kind of like the tale of two cities, but it's a tale of two islands. We have a median price on Maui of $1,150,000, but our volume, our closed sales is down 37% and 42.2% new listings is down. That's for residential. On Oahu, the median is $1,083,750, so just a little bit under, but their active listings are up 50.3%. Their closed sales are down only 26.5%. And again, their condos, because a lot of people go to Honolulu to purchase condominium, those listings now are up 25.3%. So they're getting an increase in inventory where Maui remains very tight. I wish I could see you all in DC, but I am on the board for ARIA this year. So I will be attending their conference, which is just after NAR in DC, but we're still up there advocating for homeownership sustainability. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Gina, for sharing information. It will help our potential clients and fellow CIPS to make a referral to you. I think we are getting out of it because our inflation is improving based on a Bank of Canada rate. Therefore, they are holding the policy rate. We're hoping that people are hoping that interest rates should start declining, but most likely not this year in 23, 24 potential is because a projection of the CREA is that the sale will increase, so is the average price. So we're hoping that we still have interesting, I can see more competition now. Bidding war has started for any property less than $1 million. Anything over $1 million and up to 1.5, 1.7 is taking time. Obviously, the 2 million and up, there is no problem because those guys have a lot of money to buy the property, so they are buying it. So there is a up in the luxury homes beyond 2 million. So thank you very much for your sharing information. Dana, your turn.
Hello, everyone. I am from Charleston, South Carolina. Also, Andrea's, we serve on the same global business board. Charleston, we've had an increase in inventory about 60%. Our median price right now is $376,000 for our first quarter this year. 5,456 homes have been sold, which has been a slight increase. So our inventory is slowly coming up as well. We have a couple of huge developments coming up. We have one called Union Pier, and that's going to be 200 units, and that's slightly out of our downtown area. I know everybody's familiar with downtown Charleston. And in our rural area of Wando, Kanehoy area, there is a 2,000 unit project that's being built. The property was priorly a plantation that has been built that was existing at one time, and they bought the property, and now they're going to be building 2,000 units, which is very huge. In our development, our construction is starting to come up. At one time, construction for a home for completion was about 1.5 years due to the supply chain, as everybody else has experienced. But right now, for a new home, we're back to about 8 months for completion. So that's coming back up. And we had a couple more moratoriums slowing down the construction. in Charleston, but that is starting to be lifted. So like THUR, like you said, the market is slowly coming back up, and I'm looking forward to the progress. Anybody can reach me. I'm on all the media platforms.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Just for your information, when I share recording on YouTube channel, it is shared on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere. So this is why I ask you, all of you, to write down your name and beside that CIPS and state where you are, because very important, because I take screenshots, it shows that. So Brent, you can do that too, and I think everybody else has done it. If you can click on the 3-digit on the right side of your portal, then you can amend that. So Carolina, can you please turn on your camera and also speak to us? Hello, Carolina, you there? Perhaps she must be occupied. So in general, if you guys can unmute the camera, we still have a few more minutes, 15 minutes. So anyone wants to talk about anything special happening there? As you know that I am a licensed builder in Ontario. We built help as a part of the team. We also help realtors to help buy the land for their client, so we can build the house and give them 7-year warranty. So that's another avenue. If you are a realtor, you have a client, whether foreign or a local, who wants to buy a land, you can help them buy a land, and you can create a network of builders, architect, planner, engineers, and so you can get them to build their custom homes. And once the house is built, if they want to sell it, you can resell it again. So this is a thing I'm doing here, promoting realtors to not only buy and sell existing or pre-construction home, go buy them land. We can custom build their homes and give them 7-year warranty according to Ontario government regulation. And are you guys doing anything like that in the United States? Brent?
As far as one of the things I noticed, and we had the presentation this morning from Sharon and the Attorney General there in Canada, was with the new act that's halting the building. I think that's what's hurt you the first part of this year. I think that's going to come back huge.
Yes.
One of the things I wanted to say that I didn't mention is that 50% of my personal business comes from Canada. 90% of that comes from Toronto. Toronto is a huge partner with us. We get at least one a week, I would say, a feed from Toronto, and it's phenomenal, the relationship we have with them. Our problem here is we have no land in the Naples market. Everything's been built, so we've had a real problem with inventory. Our inventory is up 100% from where it was last year. But the problem we have is we're still about 20% of what we normally carry. So while it's doubled, it hasn't affected. So our pricing is still increasing. We still have a lack of inventory.
That's good. Thanks for getting. Rory, do you have any experience in before I do that, go ahead, Gina. You want to share something before we ask Rory? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that my company is going to be involved in a development of luxury lots, acreage lots, and luxury home lot packages. It'll be a gated community just outside of Lahaina, for those of you who are familiar with Maui. And it'll be they just breaking ground this week, so we're very excited to offer that. But I wanted to let the members know that Maui and Oahu are very restrictive on short-term rental. So we have a lot of folks that try and come here and they want to have a house where they can do Airbnb. This is very much not favorable to do in Maui or Oahu. So there are very few options for, you can buy condominium that allow the short-term rental. Otherwise, they're very restrictive because of the hotel lobby, and the hotel lobby being very strong here. So I just wanted to let the members of this group know that we can help you navigate which condominiums would allow investment for vacation rental and which ones don't. Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's a part of our due diligence. In Ontario, we have Real Estate Business Broker Act. Section 21 is talk about material facts. What you mentioned, you did a due diligence to make sure the buyer is not misguided or giving incorrect information, because in here you can get a disciplinary action against you. Just to let you know that a regulator has appointed me as a member of a discipline and appeal committee. So starting from June 1, I may have to resign all real estate association to join this regulator in Ontario. Yeah. So I think this is all the hard work that we do in
I have one more question to hear. Is Florida, any one of the Florida agents experiencing erosion? Because West Maui particularly, we're having to disclose now sea level rise, and the erosion is quite severe in some places. Is Florida having the same issue?
Yeah, Rory can answer that question.
I could. So Florida for many decades has taken a large amount of our state budget for beach renourishment. Florida has erosion all the time because it's mostly sandy beaches. I know Hawaii has a lot of, lava beaches. It's a little different, but all our beaches pretty much are sandy beaches, very little exposed coral at the shoreline. So it's a big state budget item, and they renourish the beaches on an annual basis all the time. From out in sea and throw through dredging machines and things, sand back up on the beach to keep it from erosion.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We have also same situation. Disclosure is a key to avoid any conflict or any litigation, and consequently disciplinary action against the registrant, and also client can sue you for not doing your job. So this is very important. I think all CIPs are well educated, they do their work, and we are handsomely paid for our efforts, and therefore we must do our job. And by joining our group, we are learning from each other. We have thousands of years of experience. Now Brett has joined us, so it's wonderful. So we will learn from each other every day. So I thank you very much, all of you. Anything else, Lori, you want to share before we say the final word?
Yeah, I wanted to just tag on to what Gina said. So in Florida, the Florida Realtors, which we have about 240,000 members in Florida, has been lobbying on the Airbnb versus short-term rentals, and also in the hotel, because she had touched on that. So what we're trying to do is, instead of having different municipal laws and having rent control, the city of Orlando tried to do rent control and was defeated through lawsuits and things, basically from Florida Realtors. But we are lobbying our legislature in the state against rent control, and also to try and have uniform short-term rental laws around the state, so that way if people go from area to area, they don't have to learn a whole new set of regulations depending upon where they want to stay. And Brett or Robin can chime in too.
Yeah, Brett, do you have anything on that?
Yeah, we had an issue with Marco Island, which was taken to the state Supreme Court on Airbnbs and rentals, and that was a win for Florida Realtors. So having the advocacy on our side has really been a blessing.
Yeah, on this we have a Residential Tenancy Act in Ontario, and there is a tribunal that deals with rental. But in terms of short-term rental, mostly realtors are not involved here. But there is a regulator that deals regulation about this Airbnb. and it's challenging. There could be some exception for realtors, but there is a regulator who deals with Airbnb. Whether realtors should do it or not, that will require a little bit more investigation before I can form opinion. But we follow very strictly regulations here. And today I was sharing a report from Real Estate Council of Ontario. They're telling the realtors, when you have a rental property, what to watch for. And I think if you are on LinkedIn, I shared that information, LinkedIn, because you cannot, in fact, I got a call today from an agent, a friend. He says, well, I have a problem because I need to show a property and is occupied by a tenant. And I asked a vacant position of the property in next month or next month or two. And I said, no, if they are on a month to month, you need to have a 60 days notice. If you want a vacant position, your buyer has to disclose and give notice that they need to have a 60-day notice to the tenant in order to have vacant position. So thanks God, I just got a text from him. Issue is resolved because they were not even showing the house until buyer declares that they're going to occupy it. And he refused and canceled his inspection today. So finally, I was able to help them out, and they were going to proceeding with it, and they give them notification. So it's a very critical one, especially a house is occupied, whether it's Airbnb, I don't deal with them, but regular rental. Sometimes we have a second dwelling. Basement is allowed now. You can have a second dwelling in Ontario, where the owner can apply to the city council and get a permit. And if you comply with the building code, safety and security and all those fire hazard and access, you can get a permit, and you can have a two dwelling unit, even one house, but you can have a basement, a separate entrance, blah, blah, blah. And you can have a second dwelling to create income, because affordability has been a big issue now, particularly in 2023 and 22, because cost has gone up for getting a mortgage. So you have anything else? Anyone have to say anything that we can do a final conversation? Then we can close our meeting today.
I just want to touch point on that was as well. Here in Charleston, that has been a hot topic, especially in our downtown area. They just recently decided to have, like Rory said, across the city regulation for those. And what they have also done is they have had Airbnb zones. So those certain zones that you could have Airbnb possibilities for your property, because in Charleston, we had a lot of the homeowners fighting for their rights. They said that deregulating Airbnb was an infringement on their property rights. So it was a little bit different of an argument here.
I noticed that in some builders are saying, Airbnb is not allowed when they are putting an offer on the property. So there's so many things going on, and good thing is to know about it. We're learning from each other, and then we're sharing this information, and we have to do our due diligence. So I really want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for taking the time to come and attend our 26th consecutive connectivity conference on real estate for CIPS only. Our next conference is on 25th of May at 1 p.m. And that day, just to let you know, the city of Mississauga and Mississauga Real Estate Board is recognizing me for my contribution in building our community service award, which includes Realty Coffee Talk, also the charitable fund donation and building community in many 5 segments. They're recognizing me. So I'm very proud to be a member of CIPS that receiving this award. So the moment we finish our meeting on next month, I have to run to the City Hall to get that. So thank you very much. We'll see you on May 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much. Bye for now.
Okay.
May God bless you all.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.